Hi, my name is Kim Griffith, and I'm a therapist at Kent Psychological Associates. Telehealth is the process of doing therapy with the use of technology, so either by phone, laptop, computer, those kinds of things.
My name is Kelly Harmon, and I am a licensed professional clinical counselor here at Kent Psychological Associates. I had never done telehealth prior to the pandemic, so this was a brand new venture for me and a lot of us here at the agency.
Hi, my name is Mitchell Harmon, and I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor here at Kent Psychological Associates. I have not used telehealth before the pandemic, and I was actually pretty surprised at how effective it was. I was kind of one of those therapists that kind of scoffed at it at first, but really it isn't all that much different from meeting with your counselor face-to-face.
My name is Diana Barkman, and I am one of the mental health therapists here at Kent Psychological. I've noticed that the feedback I get from my clients is very, very positive. With telehealth, there's no drive time. We are saving on gas money. It's much more convenient for folks. So I definitely think that we will continue with telehealth.
I think telehealth has been really helpful and even preferred for a lot of my clients who have upcoming moves in state, college students who've graduated or who are home for summer or not coming back in the fall. They'll still be able to get therapy services essentially because of telehealth.
Recent research has said that telehealth is really just as effective as in-person therapy. So that's really promising. Clients are still getting what they need even if it's through a digital medium.
Clients are absolutely able to do a combination of telehealth and in-person therapy. In fact, I've had a lot of clients indicate that once I'm back in the office, they would like to do both, depending on what their schedule looks like on any given day. A lot of clients feel more at ease and more comfortable being on their couch at home in relaxed clothing, not having to necessarily get themselves together and get out the door. Some clients have given me virtual tours of decor and things that are important to them that they might not be able to do in the office, even like their animals and pets and things that are really meaningful. So I think it brings in a whole other personal kind of element.
I do see senior citizens. I enjoy my senior citizens, and I would say about half are very comfortable with telehealth, and those are people that have worked with computers before. They have smartphones, they have iPads. The other half have not had that exposure to technology and really prefer not to do the telehealth. Some of them I have counseled by telephone.
As a clinician, using telehealth for couples, it seems like it works pretty well. One of the advantages to using that platform is, again, the clients are in their own home, so they can feel more comfortable, and it's more of a natural environment than they were sitting in the office with me. So I really enjoy doing couples work via telehealth.
The process for seeing adolescents in session is, again, make sure you have that privacy and confidentiality. A lot of teenagers, like a lot of anybody, they really just want to make sure they can come in and have a conversation just with their counselor. Most teenagers and adolescents tend to kind of clam up when they're in the same office with their parents, and so I would say make sure you have that privacy.
So for a client who wants to go through the process with telehealth, they'll need to establish that with the administrative staff, who can then send them instructions in terms of how to connect. And then day of the appointment, they can follow their instructions to connect to the Doxy site, which is what we're currently using. And they'll be placed in the clinician's virtual waiting room, and the clinician will see that they're there and then can essentially grab them from the waiting room whenever the clinician's ready to start session.
As far as the process goes for successfully setting up telehealth, the first thing you need to do is try the technology out prior to the session. Make sure that, whatever platform you are using, the web address to go to. I would say the second thing you need to do is make sure you have a good internet connection. An Ethernet cable or strong Wi-Fi typically works better than regular cellular connection, and some areas of your home may work better than others. try to go to a spot where the internet signal is going to be stronger in your home. And the third thing I would say to be aware of is be in a quiet or a private place, such as your office, a bathroom, a garage. I would say, very similar to how, when you come into the office and you kind of have that private space with your counselor, make sure you have that set up at your home. Really have your own spot that it can kind of just be you and your counselor and something that mimic that confidentiality of a face-to-face session. The fourth thing is I would say don't multitask. Set aside time just as you would for an in-person session. If you connect from somewhere other than your home, let your clinician know the address, since that's something clinicians need to make a note of in case you have a medical emergency in session. And they also have to worry about state lines and stuff like that. Log on early so you can kind of see yourself, what you look like in the chat room. Make sure, that the light isn't completely blinding you or your counselor. The fifth thing, I would say get someone to watch your kids if possible, or set them up with an activity ahead of time, and make sure again that you have that privacy and that confidentiality. And then the last thing is communicate any potential challenges to your therapist prior to session via the patient portal for assistance.
So to be totally transparent, yes, technical issues are a thing. They don't happen that frequently, but when they do, I've established a plan with the client in advance, so we both are on the same page and we know exactly how we're going to handle them. And the way that we handle that, we usually try to connect through the Doxy site for about a minute or two, and if we continue to have problems, they know that they're going to get a phone call from me where we can either finish the session or have part of it rescheduled.
I think throughout this process of us, having to transition to it, clients have really benefited from using telehealth services, and I know I've had several actually who have told me, they would prefer to continue. So telehealth is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
In fact, I've had clients that have asked me if they can continue with telehealth after the danger of the virus subsides. They really enjoy it. They feel that they can be just as honest and just as open as long as they have a private spot. So it's very, very positive experience all around. From my point of view, and it appears that also from the client's point of view.
I do hope that telehealth continues to be a part of the practice. It makes mental health services more accessible. I think that anytime any service can do that, it's really just a win-win for everybody involved, consumers and practitioners alike.